Have you heard? It's truck news.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck, 'cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
The Truck Show podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. AMSOIL launched the industry's first synthetic motor oil back in 1972, and AMSOIL continues to innovate with a wide selection of synthetics that are formulated, blended, and packaged right here in the United States. These specialized lubricants are engineered for what you drive and how you drive. AMSOIL's Shop by Vehicle tool offers package size recommendations to maximize savings and includes AMSOIL's Ultimate Oil Change Kits. AMSOIL offers the protection you demand and the performance you deserve. Get yours today at AMSOIL.com. The perfect complement to your truck is a Kershaw knife. All Kershaw knives come with a limited lifetime warranty, and repair parts are readily available through the website. Kershaw knives include lifetime sharpening, and the lineup has everything from EDC knives that can be used and abused for under $50, all the way up to high-end collectibles. Thanks to our generous partnership with Kershaw Knives, Truck Show podcast listeners can get 40% off MSRP and free shipping over $50 by using the code 2TSP2025. It can be used more than once and even includes automatics. Visit kershaw.kaiusa.com today. UAM Pistons is one of the few companies that's been in business for over 100 years. Founded in 1922, UEM continues on today, owned and run by the fourth generation of the family that founded them. We especially like the company's dual-alloy line of diesel pistons, which are cast and machined in-house to maintain the highest level of quality and consistency. Dual-alloy pistons are available for most popular diesel light and medium-duty trucks, and you can find your diesel replacement pistons today at uempistons.com. When it comes to amazing vehicle-based adventure content, how-tos, and great storytelling, only one brand is doing it right in the print magazine space, and that's OVR, Outdoor Vehicle Recreation. OVR is about getting out there in our vehicles to explore and discover the world around us. Get complimentary access for a year to the digital library or a discount on your print subscription today at OVRmag.com. Use the promotional code at Truck Show Podcast.
The Truck Show podcast survives off of sponsorships and your reviews. Please help me to keep it free by supporting our sponsors and leaving reviews and comments on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Have you heard? No! Well, we have a lot of news for you, and we'll get started with, check it out, more Ram news. What'd I tell you? Something like 24, 25 announcements before the end of the year. Well, there's an announcement left, an announcement right, and, well, it turns out Ram's pretty good for the truck industry right now. Let's start with this one. Okay, so we love Caleb Jacobs over at The Drive, and he's got some great articles. And he wrote a story that says the V8 isn't America's truck engine anymore, and we have proof. And his article is probably a little clickbaity. Obviously, if less V8s are offered, less will be chosen, and that affects the overall mix, especially when you have brands such as Toyota completely dropping the V8 altogether, as well as Ram, until now. So anyway, go to The Drive, read Caleb's story, be angry, although it's a really good piece. The reason I bring that up is because it's official. Now that the Ram 1500 for 26 has the order banks open, and you can order a Ram 1500 with V8, 10,000 Hemi-powered 1500s were ordered in the first 24 hours after announcing its return. So I'm going to tell you right now, probably the right move. It's what people want. And I know we say Tim Kaniskis because he's running the brand, but there's a lot of great people over at Ram and all that. So they're all part of it. But anyway, can you believe that? 10,000 on the first day. I think people were ready to have their V8 Rams back. What do you think? In more Ram news, there could be a V8 powered Ram 1500 RHO. Is it possible that you could put a 5.7 Hemi in place of the high output twin turbo Hurricane? It's not totally off the table. And if you think about it, that might be a good entry level. Could you imagine if the base RHO was the V8 model and you'd pay more for the high output? I've seen stranger things happen. Kaniska says they've debated that a lot internally. And the Hurricane pumps out 540 and 521. So 540 horse, 521 torque. And that's a lot more than the 5.7 at, 395 horsepower and 410. However, do people miss hearing the rowdiness of the V8 where they have less power? Are there people who think that in that kind of truck, they don't need as much power? I think it's definitely an interesting thought. Would you buy an RHO or the V8? Truck Show Podcast at gmail.com. I think it could be really cool. I think there's a lot to love about the 5.7 Hemi, especially off-road. Thermal management, no turbos, things like that. So what if you could get a more affordable, less complex V8 powered RHO? Kaniska says, not saying we won't do it, but that's what we're thinking about right now. Let me just put it this way. Tim Kaniskis, and I've known him for a lot of years, doesn't just lob stuff out there for no reason. Usually he has something he's working on. So take that for what it's worth. In other Tim Kaniskis news, he is not only the Ram CEO, but he's been promoted to lead all American brands, including reviving the SRT division, which, if you know SRT, Challengers and Vipers and the Viper ACR, even the Neon SRT4 or the Magnum SRT8 or the Ram SRT10, could we see something like a Ram SRT10 sport truck again? The guy at Ram is now the SRT guy. Like, make it happen, Tim. Love to see that. Anyway, what's next? I don't know, but I can tell you that one of the last projects the SRT team done before they were dissolved and released into other parts of the company was the Wrangler 392 on the powertrain side. And I'm so glad there's a lot of great guys over there. And I hope they can pull them all back in because Ram 1500 SRT would be badass. And with them going back into NASCAR, how could they not do that? I don't see that not being a thing. For you Chevy fans out there, the 2027 Chevy Silverado prototypes have been spotted. And they're out in the world with camo. And not too much to glean from them yet, other than knowing that this will be the launch of the Gen 6 small block V8. And it looks like they're out towing and testing the vehicles in the real world. So more to come as we find out more, but basically it looks like a crew cab pickup truck with a trash bag on it. Interesting article from Edmunds.com. They say a record 1 in 5 new car shoppers are committed to a $1,000 plus monthly payment in Q2 of 2025. And that sets a new record for average monthly payments. According to them, Q2 sets new records for average monthly payments, the amount financed, and the number of 84 plus month loans, underscoring ongoing affordability challenges for car shoppers. And so the bullet points of the article on Edmunds.com are the share of these new car buyers coming to monthly payments of $1,000 or more hit all-time high of 19.3% in Q2 of 2025, up from 17.7% in Q1 of 2025 and 17.8% of Q2 in 2024. More buyers are opting for extended loan terms than ever before. That says 84 plus month loans set a new record, 22.4% of new vehicle financing, up from 20.4% in Q1 of 2025 and 17.6% a year ago are opting for 84 plus month loans. Bigger loans are becoming the new norm. The average amount financed for a new vehicle is now $42,388, which is up from $41,473 in Q1 of 2025 and $40,873 in Q2 of 2024. Shoppers are putting less money down. The average down payment for a new vehicle purchase was $6,433 in Q2 of 2025. And that's down from $6,511 in Q1 of 2025 and $6,579 in Q2 of 2024. And complicating matters are 0% finance deals that sink below 1% of new vehicle loans for the first time ever, and interest rates that are historically high right now. The average new vehicle APR is 7.2%, which is actually up from 7.1% in Q1 2025 and a tick lower than 7.3% in Q2 of 2024. And here's some news I think all Ram fans can get behind. New Ram HD 2500 and 3500s, that would be the 25 and 26 models, get a payload upgrade. So Stellantis product development put out a release, and it says that the results are especially important in the heavy duty segment where capability is key. They've reassessed working breed of trucks that have increased gross vehicle weight ratings. The higher capability raises most of our Ram 2500 and select Ram 3500 and Ram chassis cab trucks, placing them deeper within the Class 3 segment and also more competitive. This action supports the capability of the Ram heavy-duty lineup, strengthens our competitive position, and delivers greater value for our customers. So all Ram 2500 diesel configurations, gross vehicle weight rating from 10,190 to 11,040, get an 850-pound gross vehicle weight rating and payload increase. Ram 2500 gas, they're still studying opportunities. I think the biggest blemish there is the Power Wagon has a pretty low payload for its size. And if they can do anything there, I think that would make that vehicle more attractive to a lot of people. Ram 3500 regular cab 4x2 gas, get a gross vehicle weight rating up 290 pounds from 10,750 to 11,040. And Ram 3500 crew cab 4x2 gas, gross vehicle weight rating from 10,750 to 11,040. Again, up 290 pounds. The changes do not affect towing, but do affect payload. So anyway, I would expect there's more coming from Ram as they go through the lineup, but nice to see that they're trying to become more competitive in that area. So it sounds like the Ford Ranger plug-in hybrid electric vehicle won't be sold in North America for now. Currently, the Ranger PHEV is being launched in Europe and Australia. There have been a few of them seen driving around on the streets here in the U.S., which got people thinking, why wouldn't you have a hybrid Ranger when you've got Maverick Hybrid, F-150 Power Boost Hybrid, and Lightning? It seems like it makes sense, but nothing to announce at this time. It'll be interesting to see. One of the things that Ford did on the PHEV is it's got a smaller battery than the competition to increase payload and whatnot, but you don't get as many electrical driving miles. So it may have to be adapted more for the expectations of consumers here in the U.S. But right now, no Ranger PHEV in the U.S. Here's some news that is a follow-up to the rollback of the EV mandate, and this has to do with Stellantis being in a pretty tough position with California. So back in 2024, under the leadership of Carlos Tavares, who's no longer at the company, to avoid lawsuits and gain some short-term relief from their emissions violations, they signed an agreement that promised that Stellantis would hit California's zero-emission rules through 2030, even if the rules were overturned. And so that means that in 2026, 35% of Stellantis new vehicles sold in California have to be zero emissions, 43% in 27, 68% in 2030. And those are all requirements that were part of the now defunct Clean Cars 2 rule, which was rolled back. So the thing that sucks for Stellantis is that they don't really have the vehicles ready yet. All the electric vehicles have been pushed back. What does that mean for dealers? If you're in California, you know how hard it is to find a gas-powered Wrangler, for example. You could go in and buy a PHEV, no problem. But because Stellantis signed it, whereas other manufacturers like Ford did not, because they made other deals with the state, I can go buy a Ford Bronco, no problem, right off the lot today. I can't necessarily do that at the local Jeep dealer. So automakers like Ford, Honda, Volkswagen have their separate deals with California, so they have looser standards. Anyway, what does this mean for Stellantis in California, which is obviously a massive automotive market? I have some friends who are dealers, and they're definitely all nervous, and they talk about if it doesn't get resolved, business could be very difficult for them and the consumer. So they're looking to get this figured out in a way that they can sell their cars here. The other thing is we don't know if Stellantis can still purchase emissions credits, and Governor Newsom is still working on his next generation Advanced Clean Car 3 rules because he's saying the federal rollbacks were illegal. So there's a lot going on, and if you're having trouble finding a gas-powered SUV, for example, at your local Stellantis dealer, this is one of the driving factors behind that. right in one more recall for you.
Check engine light just went on. Noise under the hood ticks like a bomb. Recall covers metal, glass, leather, and plastic. Door handle pulled off in my hand. Just fantastic.
So I think a while back we talked about the rear view camera issue that Ford had, but they just increased that recall to 200,061 vehicles. There will be a free rear view camera software update, which you should be able to grab from your dealer, no problem. Ford will start sending out communications on July 28th. And just so you know, the reference number 25S72, and you can call your local dealer and get that set up. If you've got any number of Ford vehicles, Transit Connect, MKZ, Edge, Lincoln Continental, Nautilus, Fusion, Navigator, Aviator, Transit, Maverick, Bronco Sport, a bunch of vehicles involved, but probably best if yours is working great. If you're having issues, again, end of the month, you'll get something from Ford in the mail. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Have You Heard? We have to thank our sponsors, Amsoil, Kershaw Knives, UEM Pistons, as well as OVR Magazine. Don't forget to support our sponsors because they keep the show possible. And don't forget to join us on social at Truck Show Podcast or email truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, don't forget to join the Podshed Insider group on Facebook, which just gives me the perfect opportunity to play one of my favorite jingles that we have.
Join the Podshed Insiders, why not? We're having fun with all that's being said, hooting and hollering in the online shed. We're having fun, talking trucks, and other totally rad and random stuff. No matter where you are, hang out in Holman's backyard. Join the Podshed Insiders, why not?
I mean, I love that one. That one is still, I know it's one of our newer ones, still one of my favorites. Also, if you don't want to come hang out with me in my backyard by joining the Podshed Insiders, hit us up, 5-star hotline, 657-205-6105. All right, thanks for joining me on this episode of Have You Heard? And it's been fun. So what do you say? Let's do it again soon.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.